Alright. Alright. Time for the video I actually wanted to do. Barrier statues, none probably aside from Herald, aka Hell, the only deck I've actually spent time playing. Aside from Herald, this is the only thing that I've actually invested my time into. Probably more on this because, Herald is you either get hit with an Ash Blossom on pre-prep and then you just lose automatically, or you succeed in everything, you do everything, you get Herald, Barrier Statue, Rory Decree, and you just watch your opponent go to sleep. As they realize that they utterly cannot do anything and they've been literally fucked in every single way possible. So let's go on to Barrier Statues. Non-explanatory. You need 3 Dyna. If you're not playing 3 Dyna, there's something wrong with you. 3 Barrier Statue of the Earth, of the Drought, Earth Statue, and then 2 Wind Statue. The ratios can change depending on what you prefer. The reason I don't play Fire Statues is because Infernoids, really, come on. You're not gonna play a fire barrier statue when there's Infernoids flying out there in the meta right now. I mean, the rogue scene at least, in locals and regionals at least, Infernoids are flying around somewhere. Trust and believe that. So going straight into the spells, we have 3 card Demise, 3 Duality, something I actually have never done before in this deck. 2 Pot Desires. What is wrong with me? Oh my god, what is wrong with me? 2 Pot Desires. You're thinking, whoa, has he gone crazy? Has Morotalk gone crazy now? Maybe, maybe not. You just never know. But regardless of such matters, shaky cam, I don't like that. You play that along with the 1 Upstart Goblin. It is a 41 card deck, so keep that in mind. We're not playing exactly 40 cards. I'm playing the Desires in here because after I get the Barrier Statue and I see it, my board's not getting broken, I might as well just try to draw more spells and traps that are going to keep my board safe. So that's why I teched in the Desires in there. I played a 1 Dark Hole and 1 Regeki for going second and just utterly annihilating our opponent's defenses and offenses when we're going second. Another good card that you have to opt into your list is the Moon Mirror Shield. I mean, this card is totally broken going first or second. You draw this going second and you just equip it and attack over whatever they have. It literally doesn't matter. This card just doesn't give a fuck about anything your opponent has to throw out there. You just equip this your statue and you just do 1 fucking go and just slam over whatever the hell they have. This card just doesn't give a shit. Another card that just doesn't give a shit about anything. Pianissimo. You play this with Fossil Dyna, so you're going second and you set this up. If Firewall doesn't bounce back your Fossil Dyna, they attack into it. And if they feel in the mood to try to negate his effect with Crystal Wing or something, or something, you could chain this because it's not a counter trap. You have a right to chain it. He won't be destroyed, even though his effects are negated. He still won't die in battle or by card effect. And if you're attacking him and they don't even have a negate, well, guess what? He's gonna blow up all your monsters and he's gonna still live on the field. And what's even more funny is that even with Moon Mirror Shield, this thing goes down to 100 if you do it before the damage step, I think. Actually, I don't think I know. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. I'm the judge. Okay, I judge you with this deck. But anyways, if you do this before the damage step and it goes down to 100, you attack, it's still going to bring it back up to its original stats anyway. Plus 100 of whatever it's battling. So it's very good to have around. Very powerful. And this is standard from even my last Barrier Statue deck profiles. Dress and Lance are just still amazing cards right now. Lance for your Draco matchups when Regeki and Dark Hole will be flipped against you. Your Paleo matchups, Dress for your Paleo matchups, Regeki for Dark Hole. All just those little annoying matchups that you don't want to put up with. I mean, this deck is literally built to be an auto win going first against Spyral, but going second, a lot of these quick play spells come in and save your hide when you're trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now for traps, you played on One Warning. I believe this is standard. It's the ultimate counter trap card. I'm surprised it hasn't been banned along with Judgment yet because... And I can see Strike getting hit at some point or another now that it got a reprint because they're not making any more money out of it. I mean, let's face it, Strike is a huge liability towards Link summoning. And because you just like Link 4 and you just hit a Link 4 with a Borolo Dragon with a Strike, and I mean, deep down inside, they can't yell or scream at you or attack you because you know they're going to get arrested for assault. Because they're going to hit you hard. They would want to hit you so hard for doing that on them. So that may get hit. Down to 2 or 1. Like it got hit in Japan to 2. You just never know. Dark Bribe staple. This card's been a staple in barrier statues for probably forever. Because spells and traps are always running around in different decks. Spells and traps that surge, that are protecting for negations or things like that. Or even if you want to hit a counter trap that this deck normally wouldn't be able to stop, this card is very helpful in doing that. You got your 3 sword, and your barrier statues need their sword and they need their wings. These cards, again, as Gauge X Scapegoat, describe them Forbidden Lances that increase attack. So, they're pretty useful. Anyways, let's get on to the side deck. So, for the side deck, we have 3 Water Statue. The reason I side them and I don't main them is because Gamasio is still everywhere right now. It's still in lots of side decks, so you don't know when it's going to pop up on you. So you need to be careful. You don't want to run into the Paleo matchup with this. You don't want to run into the Mermail matchup with this because Mermail has proven itself to be a decent rogue deck back when I last checked from overall local results of Mermails and things like that. 3 Banisher because Burning Abyss is, as we already know, is starting to make somewhat of a comeback in the budget scene. I mean, their Link monsters getting ready to come out, so you need a way to cut their graveyard off completely. And this guy does it better than any other card in here. Well, almost better than every other card in the side deck except one. And we'll get to that in a moment. But we played 3 MST in order to wipe out annoying skill drains. That would just happen. You know that you get that feeling that you just got all your barrier statues out there and then you get skill drain flipped on you and you don't have to run fuck you. Because skill drain just negates all your effects and then they just start Cosmo spamming or something, I don't know. And then you chain the MST to skill drain after they pay the 1,000. They're like, oh, now I have to resign the game. Because, I just gotta resign the game now. Because I don't have a way to stop your statues and you're an asshole. We play D-Fissure, which is really good. It's literally the best card for stop. Flat out saying, fuck you to Burning Abyss. That deck cannot do anything under this, nor this. You pull any of these 3 on them, that's it. It's a game over. GG, well played, get wrecked, scrub type of situation. Something else I play in the side deck, 2 anti-spell, because although pendulums generally can't do anything under this deck anyway, I just want to try to cut them off even further from being able to establish pendulum skills because, Violet Poison is a bitch. We don't want that card coming out, and even if that card comes out, that's why we play Waynes, Lance, Dress, and all Pianissimo and all this other shit in here designed to stop that from being a problem. We just don't want these annoying tech cards, annoying engine cards or tech cards that just pop out of nowhere and just beat the crap out of us. Also, for more potential pendulum, hey, we play Double Strike. But the main reason we play Double Strike is not for pendulums. It's for Firewall, Borreload, and Tri-Gate Wizard in the Spyral matchup when we have to deal with the pain and the suffering of going second and them just having so many fucking chain links, and then we can't do anything about it, and we just lose. That's why I love playing Strike in the side, because you play Strike on like the Tri-Gate Wizard and they can't respond to it with Firewall, just start bouncing a whole bunch of shit back. So you strike that Tri-Gate Wizard when you flip up your Fossil Nina, and then you're true, your Fossil Nina is going to die because you're not going to be able to play the Pianissimo in the chain link process. But you'll still be able to wipe out their board, and hopefully you can draw into a level monster and then just piss them off. But this is the best you can hope from the situation against a tier 0 deck. That over there, that still hasn't been really hit that hard over here. Sure, Drone and what was his name? Quick Fix got hit to one, along with set rotation getting hit, stopping the whole Gateway to Chaos no field spell nonsense. But still, you still have a chance. And I mean, you have a good card to answer the evenly matched being Dark Bribe. So your only weakness with this deck technically is True Draco. Because with True Draco, this deck just doesn't tribute summon with that. But luckily, that hasn't been so represented amongst them as much. It's still there. But I feel that it's taken so many different forms that you don't really see the pure version anymore. Like, you see it mixed with something else. And true, I could play Mask of Restricts in the side deck, but why am I going to restrict myself to that when that card literally is only good for the pure version of True Draco, being the Demise variant? And that is not played as much anymore. I might as well just play Banishing things, or I could play techs like Anti-Spell Fragrance in the side, or I can play a little Strike when they try to bring out their Alistair and things like that, because, just mix all the things. They just mix all these things together, and they just overwhelm these types of decks that are built to shut down one type of thing from the start. Which is why you need diversity in your side deck, and I don't believe you're gonna get it with Mask of Restrict against True Draco anymore, because they're mixed with so many goddamn fucking things. It's not even a True Draco deck anymore. It's literally a Draco invoked, which was something else type of deck. But anyways, time for a few test hands. Although I believe the test hands explain themselves already. But yeah, like I said, the test hands are going to explain themselves. You either get the statue and you shut them down, or you don't get the statue and you brick really hard, which is really rare with these types of decks. Since the decks are built to be consistent, since we have 9 ways to draw cards in here, and I mean, we're playing a 41 card list. So Desires is going to be consistent since we're only running 2 of it. 2 Desires for a 41 card deck, 1 Desires for a 40 card deck, and 3 Desires for a 42 plus card deck. Let's see how we do. We got a Bribe, got a Wing. We got the Wings, we got the Berry Statue, we got Duality, and we got Mumisha. Oh, we're doing pretty good already. We'll just Duality real quick. Ooh, this is a killer. See, this right here, if they don't have an answer to this, if they're not playing True Draco, at this point, they should just resign. The term's not resign. I keep confusing this game with chess. They should just scoop it out at this point if you have this on them. Because they can't evenly match you because you got the Bribe to answer it. If they don't have Ash, they're not gonna stop this. And I mean, how are they gonna stop this from being a threat to them? How are they gonna answer this? They can't. That's it. They lost. GG no re. Take the L and move on into the next game. Which is exactly what we're gonna do right now. Move on to the next test hand. Like the scrubs we are. I'm kidding. We're not scrubs. We get tops every now and then at local tournaments and regionals. We get our tops here and there. But this channel is not for me to gloat about occasional regional and local tops. It's just for me to belligerate about okayish rogue decks that have the chance to get far someday in the competitive scene. So let's see what we can do here. You have to belligerate. You got Lance, you got Mercio, Wing, Goblin, Lance again. Where's my statue? Ooh, duality. Nice. Beautiful. Should I take the Demise or the statue? I think I'm going to play it safe and take the statue and not get greedy. In this scenario, the only thing that they will have that be able to break our board is evenly matched. Because we have every other answer that we already need for Spyral. Because, no, you cannot deny a Spyral is still without a doubt the best deck. And then we just set these three and we just go. Paleo can't even break our board because we have Forbidden Lance up against them. And their only chances of beating us at this point is for them to have a swap frog. And in that scenario, we could just play Wings before that even happened to make our monster 1500 and give it protection from battle. So they can't even attack over it. The next card is going to be Dinah. And we could just beat the hell out of them with this. So even Paleo can't break our opening board. Which is actually going to be horrible for them. Because Paleo is, I believe, outside of True Draco, which obviously breaks his deck, Paleo has the second best chances of actually being able to do something against his damn deck. Just because of how it plays. With one monster and how Paleo, just because of how that damn Paleo deck plays. With a whole bunch of traps that do a whole bunch of nonsense to your monsters. And they can tech and evenly matched in the main, so that can be a problem as well. Let's see how we do now. And this is why I teched in Desires. Because if this was like another protection tech card, I wouldn't have gotten anything. If we were going second, we would have Raigeki. Which is also good. But we're playtesting for going first. So this is what we want to do. I think this is 10. Let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Aww. We didn't get a statue. In the case that this is a bad hand. Next card, yeah. This is a losing hand. Yeah. More. Bad case of blood. Let me do another test hand because I have a bad taste of blood in my mouth right now. Out of that test hand because it was meant for me to get a monster, and I only banished one monster off of that Desires, believe it or not. So it's not like I banished all my monsters. So I know my ratios are correct, I just had bad luck that one time. So, yeah, that's a thing, sadly. Let's see, Demise, beautiful hand. This is the dream hand, where you get Demise, Duality, Moon Mirror, a fucking barrier statue, and bribe in the same hand. I'm not even gonna... I shouldn't even have to explain the brokenness with this. We're gonna do one more for the rodeo. And then we need to discuss some things about Simo's little hand traps are not the problem video. Because, yes, hand traps actually are the problem. They're not the complete problem, but they're definitely part of it. Simo's making it as if hand traps are actually saving the game from being degenerate. And they're fucking not. But we're going to get into that once we finish this last test hand. Whether this test hand is good or not is completely oblivious to me. But we'll see what we can do. Ooh, Dark Hole. This would be really good going second right now. So let's play this hand as if we were going second. Okay, we Dark Hole their board. Upstart. Beautiful. That's all it needs to be explained. So if we were going second, this would be an excellent hand for dealing with their nonsense. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the important part of the video. Discussion time. I'm going to explain exactly what hand traps have done to the game. Hand traps are not the complete problem. I can agree with that. I'll agree with that. But hand traps are without a doubt a part of the problem. Another reason why you need strikes, because strikes can hit hand traps as well. In the sad scenario that you can't afford Cypher Gear Gammas, which is the scenario of the majority of players playing this sad game right now. They just simply can't afford better decks. Which is why I converted to competitive chess, because I find it much easier and much less stressful to do, since the majority of it is mental knowledge and thinking on a 64 square board, rather than throwing away hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a deck that's probably going to get annihilated on a ban list anyway. And if not, hit with a ton of erratas or formats that are going to ruin your deck one way or another, such as they did with Shadow Trains with Link format. But anyways, I digress. Simo's argument is that without hand traps, we would have a much harder time having to go second. But again, while hand traps would be helpful if they were affordable, talking in the case of Ash, Drone Lockbird, Ghost Ogre is kind of affordable, but no, she can't count because she's kind of affordable. But Cyphering Gear Gamma, who's reaching the 30s and 40s now per copy in price, when before he was like $15. Which the only reason he jumped is because he became a popular answer to Ash. A very powerful tech in a deck like Infernoid's, a deck that can empty their board very quickly. So Cyphering Gear Gamma can just hit the board the moment they will try to Ash your grass or left arm. No, not left arm, but the moment they will try to like Ash your grass with screener, you can like Gamma them like right away, because the Infernoids are very known for being able to clear their board very quickly. And the Infernoids just can do it so well. But Simo's argument is that if we didn't have hand traps, it would be impossible for us to go second. And while that is true, hand traps are part of the problem, because the budget players, where their decks are so frail the way they're built, to not be able to handle hand traps, the budget players are taking more of a to the gut right now. It's hurting them in the stomach right now, because a single Ash Blossom and a Monarch player's turn or a Blue Eyes player's turn is over. They simply cannot do anything. While decks like Spyral are limited, but can still play around the hand traps. Yes, they can. I've seen it done millions of times on YCS live streams. They can play around hand traps very easily. While the rogue players, their turn's done. Desires gets hit, it's like game over. If like a pre-prep gets hit against like a Vandred player or some shit like that. Heralds may have a chance because they could put Herald on the board before Ash will even try to do any of her bullshit. But again, it's just not going to work for a lot of budget players. And that's why I feel Simo's argument is very unvalidated, because he's basically telling the poor players, get rich and afford Ash, when they can't. You just don't get money out of nowhere. And chances are, if smart people, if they would have money, they wouldn't even invest it in Ash Blossoms. They'd invest in fucking stocks or some shit like that. Or invest in some food and a nice meal, or buy some fucking nice shoes with that shit. Buy some nice pants with that shit. Buy something that you can actually account for, because Ash Blossom's going to get reprinted eventually. Maybe not right now, but eventually they have to reprint Ash Blossom. If they're not going to do it now, they're gonna probably make us wait a year for the reprints in the Megatins of 2018, like they always do. Hey, think about it this way. We had to wait this long in order to get Sage with Eyes of Blue reprints back when he used to be a $20 card. So I guess if we can wait for the so ever precious Ash Blossoms or Ash Sluts to get reprinted, right? Because apparently in the Kaiba set, where they're reprinting Card Demise, Ghost Ogre, and Drone Lockbird, apparently there's no Ash Blossom in there right now. And if there's no Ash Blossom in there, the problem is still not going to be fixed, because Ash Blossom is without a doubt the best hand trap right now. But without any further ado, I'm going to leave you guys on that note. See you next time. Peace.